Hello, my friends. Gene from Regular Guy Mountain Biking. Welcome back to Bike Chat, the bike chat that went away and came back again. We're going to give it a shot, and we had a lot of fun doing Bike Chat before, so we're going to do Bike Chat now. You might have remembered or noticed that little sound at the beginning, that music at the beginning. That's from my buddy Rob. He put that together for me, so I love that music. He wrote it for me. That's actually a wheel spinning in the background. The click, 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 click. He actually put a microphone by the back of his bike and spun the tire and got it winning over there. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, enough about that. Bike Chat's back, right? And this is my buddy James from James the Bike Guy, who's helping me get things going over here. So James, welcome to Bike Chat.
Well, thank you for having me. And tell me a little bit about the history of Bike Chat.
Yeah.
So I'm just joining in, but I think it's been around for a little while, right?
So yeah, I had Bike Chat going for a while. It was a different type of format. We weren't doing anything live, and it got really hard for me to edit and do the work. But people liked it. It was fun, but it just the YouTube live stream kind of died a little bit, and I kind of stopped it. But then I started getting pings, not hundreds, but I started getting pings from like, Gene, I used to like to listen to that Bike Chat thing. Why aren't you doing that anymore? And I thought, well, maybe it's time to do it again. I wouldn't say I have any free time, but I'm maybe getting a little more organized. So I wanted to give it a run. Sure. Of course, I met you and you were cool enough to help me get started. And, it's just nice, folks, to have a person to talk against. James won't be on all the shows, but I'm lucky enough to have him in some of the ones in the beginning to give me someone to talk against and help me set things up. And he's also helped me with a lot of other things that we'll talk about later on. So anyway, that's really the history of it. I like to talk. I don't like to, I'm a chatter and Bike Chat. So there you go. So
and we're both East Coast riders, which is pretty cool.
Exactly.
I'm up in New England. You're just a little bit south. It's neat to be working with another YouTuber on the same coast. It seems like everyone's either in the Midwest or in California these days.
Right, one you'll actually get to meet at some point, which is going to be kind of nice. So that'll be pretty cool. So folks, here's the deal with this episode of Bike Chat. I want to give you a little idea of where the channel's going. James and I have some actual bike topics we're going to be talking about, but this is kind of like getting it going right. I got to get the live chat working again with the YouTube live stream. They changed the format a little bit. So if you saw the other one, James and I were kind of tweaking it a little bit on Monday, and we got that working. So some people logged in like, what are you guys doing? I don't know. We're figuring it out. Yeah. So that's really the idea today is we're going to talk a little bit. I'm going to ask some things of you. And the other goal is I'm going to try to take the audio from these and make podcasts from them. That was another request. People wanted me to strip the audio from the bike chats and turn them into podcasts. So that's all new territory for me. So yeah, if you're logging in today and you're talking, you're a guinea pig basically. You're a test subject, and we're going to see how we do this right now. All right. So first things first. The Regular Guy Mountain Biking channel is doing very, very well. Okay, we will hit, which is a very big milestone for me, which is a huge thank you to you, the 20,000 subscriber mark next month, which is, I gotta tell you, I'm thank you, James. I'm pretty proud of that because, I mean, this is a lot of work. It really is a lot of work, and it's nice to know that there's at least a couple people out there, a couple very special people out there that appreciate it, and sure, would I want more subscribers? Yeah, but would I want to make sure I have the ones that I have because they're so awesome? That's way more important to me than any number because I'm always getting views, I'm always getting comments, I'm always getting emails, so I'd much rather have the number I have and have them be the quality folks that you guys are than any other number. So I want to make sure I thoroughly thank you, because it obviously doesn't happen. So that's a big milestone. So yeah, actually, wait, let me see if I can do this. Well, where is it? Here we go.
Yeah. And didn't you hit a pretty big milestone for views as well? Not just subscribers coming up?
Thank you, James.
Yeah.
We did. We hit the over 2.5 million views of videos. So I can't believe that 2.5 million people wanted to watch me, but they probably it's probably just my mom clicking the watch button a lot. Yeah, I know it's very crazy. Yeah.
Probably.
So anyway, that's another huge one. So that's been a big help. And then there's another milestone. We'll have 600 meetup riders in my Regular Guy Mountain Biking meetup group. So that's a lot of people. We get a good 15 to 20 plus people on every one of our meetup rides. And that's awesome. So we've got, like, everything's just, the numbers are going way up. And if you ever want to start a YouTube channel, I'm not sure, I'm getting a lot of static all of a sudden. Can you hear that too, James?
Yeah, it's odd here. I may jump back while you're talking. So just keep going.
All right, James is coming back in just a second over there. He's clicking some buttons and stuff like that. So there he is. Whoa. You sound a lot clearer, but I lost your video. So now you just look like a little microphone. All right. So that meetup ride is another huge one, because I try to do these meetup rides and have people come along with us. A lot of you folks have been on them already, and they're a blast. So hitting that number is another real big one. I'm going to go and real quick. James, I just put you on mute over here. When I see your video again, I'll bring you back in. Okay? And there's a video. And okay, there we go. He's back.
Go.
All right.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's the beauty of living in the boonies.
James 2.0, he's back. So, where is all these kudos going? Well, first thing I wanna show you over here real quick. I'm gonna go and open this up. Where the heck is it? It's this, and I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna actually try to share the screen over here, and we're gonna see if it works, folks. All right, it's brand new software over here. All right.
All right.
So anyway, I'm not sure if it's working or not, but don't worry about it, because I can put that into the video later on. But we've actually got a brand new Regular Guy Mountain Biking jersey now that I'm very, very proud of. So that's finally come out. And the other big one is that we're going to have a pretty big camping trip coming up in probably like August, September time frame, where we're going to do a Regular Guy Mountain Biking meetup ride, camping ride down in Allaire, Allaire, New Jersey. I got to get all the logistics laid out, but it's going to be a get there Friday, go for a ride, camp out, hang out, have a good time, then get there on Saturday, ride, go to sleep, wake up on Sunday, do another ride, and everybody limp home. So that's coming up. And then Allaire's very, very smooth. Like it's pretty easy going. So that's one of the reasons why we wanted to go and do it there, because especially for a guy like me to do 2 rides, one after the other, I'm going to be exhausted. Yeah. So anyway, we'll do that. Yeah. All right. So that's what's going on with that. And then one last thing, and then we'll get into some more bike stuff, is because of all the numbers and everything like that, in July, I'm going to have a 20,000 subscriber meetup ride where it's going to be a big picnic and a big ride. I'll probably try to invite some of the other groups that I work with, and that's going to be a really big meetup ride. I mean, I usually, like I said, 15 to 20 something people on each one. We'll probably have 30 to 50 people on that ride. It's going to be a blast. Wow. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. All right. So that all being said, let's go and talk about bike stuff. How does that sound, Mr. James the Bike Guy? All right.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
So I don't want to start talking COVID, but I would be interested to know what you folks and what you guys have been doing. I'll talk about what I've been doing. I mean, when other time in the world when I can say I stopped Bike Chat, there was a pandemic, and then I mean, that's like, that doesn't happen that often. Hopefully it never happens again. My gosh. So
Exactly.
I'd be curious to know what you folks are doing. I'll be happy to tell you what I did and how I got through the time. And James, I'd love to get your 2 cents. I could tell you one thing that happened. The 19 in COVID is the pounds you put on because of it. I mean, I don't know about you, buddy. I've only recently met you, James, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. I have no idea what you looked like before. Yeah. But I can look at my videos pre-COVID and now COVID, and I'm like, dude, you got fat. I'm just looking at my thumbnails going, holy, what the heck did I do? So, I don't know, dude.
Well, I'll tell you, Gene. So the other day I was going through, it's 2 or 3 years ago that I started putting myself onto the James the Bike Guy videos, but I started it in 2014. And at that same time, I actually started 2 other channels that I still run now. But one of them I've been on forever. And every once in a while, I look at the early videos and I go, man, what happened? And most of it packed up right at this very end. But it's funny. I was reading an article that said the average weight gain of people who gained weight was actually 35 pounds during this pandemic. So
I should start a new video YouTube channel on how to lose weight during a pandemic. I mean, my gosh, I'm killing it then. Yeah, I gotta tell you, dude. Yeah, I mean, I looked at those videos and said, wow, man. But what are you gonna do? But I did get a fair amount of riding in. I'm very lucky. I live right next to Wayanda State Park. I'm not going to beat around the bush. When all the parks were closed, we weren't riding. What are you going to do? I mean, we're mountain bikers. We ride, okay? Plus, not for nothing. Actually, I'm coming in pretty hot over here. Let me turn that down a little bit. Let me turn that down. So anyone that listens to me from this point on, hopefully their ears aren't blowing up. We're in the middle of the woods. You know what I'm saying? So that's what kept my sanity through this whole freaking thing is mountain biking. I mean, I didn't stop riding. I had a good group of solid friends. We had our own little trust circle. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we did. We rode. Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, I was lucky. So up here in Mass, they never really shut down outdoor activities. Our government was somewhat reasonable in their response to COVID-19. So I ended up riding all through. Now, of course, right at the beginning when we were all nervous about it, what it was going to become. Basically, I just riding on my own. But a few months in, at least around here, we were wearing masks on the ride, which is kind of a strange thing, but we did that for a while, and by summer stuff started to relax a little bit. So I was surprised. I mean, aside from home life and work things that changed that really adjusted my time schedule, I was really able to ride all through this, which I know a lot of other people.
Some of the other states it was pure lockdown. That. No, we rode. I'm not sure what some of you folks got to do. Hey Gene, thanks for joining on the chat over there. Good to have you over here with us. Anyone else on the line that's from other areas? Come over and say hi. I'll give you a shout out and see what's going on. So it wasn't that bad with the lockdowns. So we rode. We didn't really do the mask thing as much. I mean, right now my cardio is bad enough as it is. I'm like, look, then ride ahead of me or stay behind. Sure. Actually, odds are you're riding ahead. Trust me, you're not riding.
Yeah, right.
In front of you. But yeah, that's what we did. We kept going. The only thing I did stop the meetup rides because they have become so big now that it was going to be. I think more harm than good. Whether or not the people that I ride with wanted to continue to do them, I didn't need the regular guy mountain biking name to get, pulled around through the mud as someone that's not trying to do safer. I didn't need that, So we had our own little, like I said, we had a small little circle of people, and that's what we did. And it worked, We got Dave from Rockland County. Nice to have you here, Dave. We got Welch 7619. Hello there, Mr. Welch 7619. Yeah, you ever wonder where some of these names, the handles come from on some of these things? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, is it
maybe.
the childhood handle,
mine's
or
always
did they
been
choose it on purpose?
Webby Man or Webby Guy from Webby for the video games. Webby. I don't know why I picked that. So anytime you see Webby, it's a good chance it's me. Yeah, but anyway, so that's what we did with that. And you know what? We made it happen. But now things are better. Now things are going good. So now we have a new problem.
Yes.
We can't get any bikes.
It's true.
What the hell,
basically
dude?
Gone everywhere, it seems.
I wouldn't say, the postman's back. All right, yeah. Hey, postman, we're going to do one of these from your deck. The postman is a very good friend of mine. He was part of our little COVID Don't Sneeze on Me circle. And we hang out at the postman's bike shack over there. And we got to do one of these from your place. Postman also has a really good podcast. If you post it over there, Angelo, we'll give a shout out and that type of good stuff. Anyway, bikes. I wouldn't say that I'm Mr. Super Networked. I wouldn't even say that at all. But I do have a couple friends that are very, very much in the industry. I would say I'm not, but these guys are, and I get to talk to them. And I'm like, dude, what the hell's going on? And one of the things I'm learning is it's not really all about the full bike. What's killing them now are the little bike parts. And it's not even the bike part. Like a bolt is a bolt. That bolt that holds your dropper post lever on the bars could be the same bolt that's in 5 different cars and your toaster oven. It's a bolt. There's nothing. It's not a bicycle bolt. It's a bolt. But without that bolt that holds your derailleur hanger on your bike don't go. And that's what I've been learning, that it's not really as much stuff as you think. It's not like, well, we can't get brakes. No, we can't even get the parts to even build the brakes.
Sure, and I think there's a couple more things to that, right? So the supply chain has 6 to 8 months of elasticity to it between when stuff shuts down, and so they're just overcoming that. But I don't know if you saw in the news, but June 14th, I think it was, the Shimano factory in Malaysia that does a lot of the lower end Shimano parts just got shut down again from COVID. And so you're going to now see this again, 4, 6, 8 months down the line, that shortage that comes through. And so it's crazy to see that stuff happen, but it's also been kind of interesting when you're looking at some of these brands that are trying to find parts from other people. You're seeing brands you would have never seen on a mainline company. I mean, Microshift's Advent Group, which is kind of cool, is now on everything. Like from a giant Trek to Specialized, it's like all over bikes now. It's kind of seeing them. It's interesting to me, the brand managers. Going
and
after
some of my buddies that are OEMing the parts for companies, they're like losing $100,000 deals because they can't get the parts. Like you can't get them. And actually, we'll go back to the postman over here, but he just only recently got his Trek, but it's a beautiful Trek. But he was in it for a Santa Cruz. I think it was the not the tall boy. What is it? The the smaller bike. That's the lesser travel one. There is a tall boy. Yeah, that's the one, right?
Yeah, tall boy's 29.
And just couldn't come in.
Yeah.
So luckily the bike shop was able to get the Trek for him. Again, beautiful bike. It's not like it was a compromise. It just was. That's what came in. But and we got 732 Outdoors out there. Tall boy. Yeah, it is a tall boy. Thanks, Mr. Postman. 732 Outdoors. He just got the Polygon N7, and That's a big bike, Mr. 732.
Oh, nice.
That's more of an
Cool
enduro bike. You folks know, I mean, right behind me, this guy right here is the Polygon Siskui D6. I've been doing some work with Bikes Online, which they push Polygon bikes, and I should have the T7 in at the end of this month, and I love them. I mean, that's another topic we're going to talk about in a little bit about buying online now, and so I'm sure 732, you're loving that thing because it's basically a bigger version of mine. But to your point, actually, James, seeing different parts,
Sure.
I've seen Growler, which is another company I want to reach out to. They're running Box, and I love Box. Box is on a few of these bikes, so I'm not knocking Box. But again, to your point, they're not the Grupo I generally see right on a bike. It's usually Shimano or SRAM. That doesn't mean that they're better than Box. Right. I'm just saying, right? I mean, if you line all the bikes up in a shop, how many of them are going to have Box?
It's different.
Very few. But Growler is running Box, and that's pretty cool. It's a quality drivetrain. But I wonder if that's because of what you said. It's just too hard to get the other parts. It's interesting. I didn't really think of it that way.
Well, it could be, and a big part of my channel is doing feature reviews on bikes. We're basically just showcasing the stuff that comes on them more than anything else, and it's been interesting. Lately the ones I've been able to get a hand on, which has been more challenging than ever, which is why there's been a weird spread of bikes these days on my channel. But what's been interesting is normally I've got a spec sheet that I, kind of corroborate as I go through the bike. And more times than not, there's a couple of things that are wrong. So either in the edit, I've got to put an asterisk when I said the wrong thing, or, I'm there looking at this bike that's supposed to have brand X tires and it's got, brand Y instead. And it's been interesting seeing that stuff come through.
Number one, I watch a lot of your videos. So folks, if you get a chance, go to James the Bike Guy. Quality channel, and a lot of good tech stuff, which we'll be doing some videos on. He knows tech. He actually helped me get the suspension set up on the Pumpkin bike. So if it wasn't for him, the Pumpkin would be a hardtail because I would have had to stick a piece of wood in there for the shock. So he's extremely technical, but he's a good guy when it comes to this. But
happy to help.
I was wondering how the hell you knew all those stats. I mean, like you literally said, you get the bike from the bike shop and you bring it outside and you know everything about the bike. I'm like, how the hell? I'm like, how's he doing this? All right.
I'm just cheating. I'm cheating.
Well, yeah, but yours is
everyone
you're
has
really
a
good.
script in the background,
the other reason why I'm glad you brought that up is there have been some folks that have been buying bikes and they're like, well, that's not the tire that's supposed to be on the bike, or that's not that. And I do think on one hand, the bike companies might need to be a little more forthcoming around saying specs may change. I think a lot of times they do, but I think you need to make it a little bit more than a little asterisk on the bottom, because this time around things are really changing. But yeah.
Well, so I've got from my last video that I was just doing, it's got the asterisk right on the bottom of the sell sheet. It says all specifications and prices listed.
I mean, at this
subject to change without notice.
I got to tell you,
and
right long
now
as it's
they will.
comparable to what's supposed to be there, be happy you get the. I mean, other than you getting a RockShox fork when you were expecting a Fox fork, or vice versa. I mean, that's like. I mean, like, I don't think that. Yeah, tires.
I wonder how much of that's happening. It seems to be like the small stuff that's really. Grip, saddle. I mean, the stuff that you're more than likely going to change anyways.
Well, that's a good point.
Those are thrown on to sell the bike, not to make it right for riding.
And that's just the way it works. But yeah, that's definitely something that I've been seeing happen quite a bit. People are just kind of mixing and matching pieces. So along that line with tough to get bikes and parts. I mean, I had a set of wheels that I ordered. I think it took 5 months for the wheels to come in. It's not the bike shop's fault. I mean, the supply, you couldn't get them in.
Sure.
I've got a set of brake pads that aren't supposed
chain.
to come in still till October, where I had to go and buy them from eBay and got nailed on the price. But what am I going to do? It's like one of those parts, so that the bike don't stop, you know? So, but I'm curious, what are your thoughts now on buying online now? I don't want this to say that I'm ever looking to make the bike shop go away. Okay, we have a wonderful bike shop, so I'm not trying to go there. But we are in different times now. I've been supporting Bikes Online. They've been sending me bikes. They've been doing very well. I've got people on the chat over here that have them and like them. Do we now look towards online services more now because of what happened, and will it change our buying from this point forward? What do you think?
I mean, I guess it will. I've got a variety of thoughts there. It's no secret that pretty much everything that I review and I tend to support are stuff that you can get locally, because personally I have a huge belief that the bike shop is really helpful in the riding experience. And to that, I think when you start thinking about where can you get bike parts, if you know exactly what you're going for, online can make plenty of sense. I get a little more queasy when it's like a brand new rider asking about, hey, should I get this? Or, building a bike up from scratch, and it's the first, real mountain bike that they're going to get. So I guess it depends. And then the other piece is, it seems like some shops are doing better than others. Shops that, were either forward thinking or whatever needs to be done to get product coming in. You call around, for the most part, you can find things. Just like, I was talking with a friend that shops on a website that, used to be the go-to because they always had stuff in stock. And now they're having some challenges because they used to get OEM, what is that, off-run goods, basically when the manufacturer doesn't use it.
Yeah,
and
that's true too.
Those supplies all dried up. So it seems to be a crapshoot even online.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hustling to find your stuff, it seems, right now. Or being flexible in what you want. You might want that Maxxis Minion DHR, but if there's a comparable Vittoria,
well, and that's going to lead us to one of our other bike chats
sometimes
that
you
we
might
have
just
coming up,
try something
where
new,
we're bringing in another buddy of ours, JF Rides, got a YouTube channel. We'll be talking about, all three of us got frames from Trifox, and we built them up. So we're going to talk about that experience, as well as build versus buy, because I think that's an important topic now. Do you, and we won't talk about it now because it's the other show, but do you build or do you buy? And part of that is directly to what you just said. If you're more flexible around the component, then maybe you build. I have to say, and it's one of the reasons why I'm wearing the SR Sun Tour shirt, I've got a good group of companies that support the channel. They're wonderful companies. Luckily, they happen to make really, really good parts, because it doesn't make any sense for me to be pushing and repping a part that it breaks in the middle of the trail on a meetup ride with 30 people on it. It doesn't make anybody look good. So, yes, I'm certainly pushing the companies that are helping me, but please understand that they've been picked because they're good. So they've been able to keep inventory enough, but I think it's a good time to be the little guy, because, I mean, like, they don't have to worry about supplying 100,000 derailleurs to all the different, they're more aftermarket. So people are just buying stuff. And what I've seen in a lot of the bike shops now, and I don't know, I'd love to hear what you guys say on the chat over here if you see the same thing. A lot more repairs. When I go to my local, that rack that had all the new bikes is just loaded with bikes with tags. And people are fixing whatever they can find in the garage, and a lot of times they're using new parts to get the bikes going. So it's an interesting time.
Well, that's a big part of the reason that I think you're not able to find parts right now, is because those are being gobbled up for the repairs. Because if I listened, I think it was Pink Bike with Push, the suspension company, was talking about this, that they've been overrun with the upgrades that they do to shocks, And the owner of Push was explaining, a lot of times they're servicing the second owner of that, whiz bang bike that was bought 4 years ago. But now they're servicing the first owner, because the one who turns it in a year or two because they're able to can't get a bike. So they're saying, well, what else do I do but throw the same money I was going to at that bike, but now upgrade the old one. So you have that, and then you have the people that are getting into cycling that have the bike that's been left in their shed 5-10 years that needs a set of normal 26-inch tires. And
it's a good way to go. Anymore. Here's something that I didn't even think about. Listen to this one, folks. We've got bike companies and bike shops ordering 2023 product. 2022 is already done. It's already done. If you didn't order your 2022 product, you will have no product. You're out, buddy. You're selling used bikes basically. So 2023, but think of this. The products that are being spec'd on the 2023 bikes, some of them don't even exist yet. Think about it, right? Well, wait a minute. If you've got a fork, the 2021 fork,
right?
Well, next is 2022, right? So you're buying a bike with parts that are spec'd that do not even exist because we're literally skipping a year. So how hard is it for bike manufacturers to give numbers when they're literally speccing something on a sheet that doesn't even exist yet? Holy cow. Right.
Yeah, well, they don't know what the product cost is. They don't know what tariffs are going to be.
It's pretty crazy. But someone got a new bike.
It's a wild world, isn't it?
And I'd love to hear about it. What do you got behind you there, Mr. James, the bike guy over there?
Yeah. So to go with that COVID-19 pounds you were talking about. It's funny. I do a fair amount of road riding, mostly because it's easy before or after work. I can knock out a 20 or 25 mile road ride in the hour and a half, 2 hours after work. From getting dressed to in the shower, which is helpful. And you just can't do that on a trail bike. But so I pretty much always have a road bike and a gravel bike.
Okay.
But I never ride my gravel bikes because they're not nearly as fast and fun as the road bike. And then if I'm going to be focusing on going off-road, I kind of just want to take the mountain bike. So it's always been this weird intersection. So I ended up picking up a electric gravel bike, a Specialized Creo, which has actually solved that issue because it goes as fast or faster than my road bike would. So I can get the same distance done. But that thing has a future shock, so it's got whatever it is, 20 or 25 millimeters of suspension travel on the front end, and it kind of starts to become a mountain bike when you're out there. And it's been a blast. I ended up spending because of some family things. I ended up spending some time down in Florida, almost a month, which was unexpected. But one of the trips down, I took the road bike. The second trip, I took this gravel bike, and I was amazed at the adventures I was able to do in places that I didn't know where I was, because if it ended up sucking, or like one day I had to get back to a conference call and I was doing a 50-mile ride, I was running a little late. So you hit that turbo button and magically I show up in time to be in front of the screen. So
in that bike, it's just been
sweet,
the cheeks, they can't go high enough. Yeah.
It's so much fun. Yeah, it's so much fun. It's not doing a whole lot to help drop the pounds as quick as a traditional road bike. But the thing is, you end up going further or faster. It's not like you don't work. Some of my Strava scores, even with this thing, have been in that historic effort level. You know what?
You kind of have to look at it like this. Are you really training for the next Tour de France, or are you just trying to get off your ass and do something? And I got to be honest with you, you're not sitting around eating chips. So I think e-bike or not, and that may be another topic, of course. But in general, the fact that you're even doing something is really the most important thing, and having fun do it. So that's awesome. I'm going to work out something where I should be able to borrow a gravel bike pretty soon, and I want to do a video on that. I've never ridden one, so I figured I'd give it a shot. We've got some nice places around here, some rails to trails type of things.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, or I mean, even some single track. It's funny, in a couple of the videos I've done with it, I've gotten comments that, I wouldn't take that bike there, or that thing's going to break, or whatever. The most gravel bikes, you do have to look in case you care, but most gravel bikes are, tested to, I think it's ASTM 3, which is the rating for a traditional trail mountain bike. So I don't know. I mean, if you go back in time, right, in the 80s,
good point.
What's the difference
my
between
head shock.
that
I had this little
and a mountain bike.
It was
back
nothing.
then,
the little Cannondale head shock thing. It was like a rubber band. No, that's a good point. Well, that's why I want to give it a try.
Yeah. Right. A 40 millimeter tire, which is kind of the gold standard on a gravel bike. That's true. 1.8 inches. So that's darn near close to the 2.0s we rode forever.
Well, that's why I want to get a hold of it. I've never ridden one before, so I'm going to give it a whirl.
I'm interested to see what you think about it.
Just lost your video, bike. James. Yeah, that sounds good. Yep. So that's why I want to give it a try, because I'm curious to find out, like, what does it really feel like? Like how I'm not taking it to way on to State Park, but I'd be curious if anyone you guys on the line have ridden one. How far have you pushed it trail wise? Right, I'm probably going to take it to maybe Kittatinny and try some of those little easier going trails. Definitely going to take it, like Arnold just said, to the Sussex branch. That's the Lafayette line. We'll give that a try over there. And then sure, I'm going to try it on the road. But that's probably, well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to try. I'm going to give those a try and see what it feels like and see what it's like. So give it a whirl. So yeah, I'll be giving a gravel bike a try pretty soon, which would be pretty cool. I'm hoping anyway. Got to work that out still. Yeah. So that's cool stuff. So I'm also trying to figure out, like I said, I'd be curious what kind of trips we got set up. I know, James, you and I want to get together sometime soon. Do you have anything else set up so far that you're going to be looking to do? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. That'll be cool to see. That'll be really cool to see. Yeah. Um, Along with that build-up type of thing. So, folks, James and I have another side project that we're going to be working on pretty soon. It's basically, we're both finding pretty much old, rundown bike frames. So, not too long ago, I did a video on cheap bike parts, right, and asked some questions, and I got a lot of views and a lot of feedback, a lot more than I was expecting. So, a lot of people are either using or interested in some of those low-cost parts on Amazon or I forgot the other company that you mentioned, that James, the other place you would look at, AliExpress, right? Yeah, it's eBay, and so some of the parts, like, I was really surprised to get some of the comments where people were like saying, "No, I use that part all the time. It's a great part." So our project is going to be to take these old frames, maybe ask you folks some of the parts that you're looking to learn more about, and see what happens. Okay, so we officially lost James. So I'll tell you. Oh, wait, I think he's coming back. He's in the waiting room. This new software is freaking awesome. Okay, I'm gonna let him in. Okay, here we go. James is coming back in. There he is.
We're gonna get wired up with an actual cable for the next one. I'm gonna go buy a 50-footer and run it down my house. My wife will be pleased.
There you go. If not, I'm gonna send you 2 styrofoam cups and a string or something like that to hook it up. My Lord, boy.
That might work.
Well, I was just telling the folks about that project that we're gonna go and work on at some point. Just a lot of stuff going on, folks. It actually was one that we were going to start up earlier, and I'm the one delaying it. James is like, "Did you get the parts? What are you ready to do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I got lost." So we're gonna make it happen.
I think our current idea is better than the one we were pushing for before. The idea of kind of going through it using the comments and the viewers, what they're looking to see, and then mashing that all together to make something cool is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Rather than just going off of this veiled project.
Right.
That we weren't going to wait to reveal till it's totally done.
Well,
I like the idea of working through and since we talked, I've come up with an idea that's completely not performance based that I'm really looking forward to doing on the bike.
Well, it'll be cool because I think I might even go and I might even just go and do a live chat at some point and literally just sit there with you folks online with Amazon on a share screen. And we'll just start. Yeah, folks, let's talk. Do you want to know about this fork? Let's add it to the cart. What do you want to? I mean, I understand the fear about some of these parts, right? I mean, you buy this fork, where are you going to go? Even if the smallest little O-ring goes, you're screwed. So I get it, but is it worth even trying? So I think we might even build that bike up together, and see what's going on and try all these parts out. And then we'll definitely meet up, James, right? Well, we can still do that idea, getting together and try the bikes out together. I'll just make sure I bring
100%.
one of the other good ones with me too, so we do that. But I think it's going to be a great idea. So that's another project James and I have kind of nested aside there. We're going to do that, bring an old fallen apart bike back to life. And see how that works. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing that one too.
I'm curious if you're going to be brave enough to buy the Buck Lowe's suspension fork that's all over Amazon. It's like $100 100mm travel air shot.
Yeah,
scares the crap out of me. But I sure would love to see somebody else.
Yeah, somebody else buy. So some of them even have lockout remotes. I'm like, holy cow! You got to be kidding me,
I mean, the sum of the parts should cost more than what it's selling for retail. So it sure makes me wonder.
I don't think that fork is one of them. But you gotta know that some of these parts, it's just a different sticker. I mean, some of them, not that one. Don't get me wrong. That's not a Fox.
Yeah, I know.
But some of the parts, it's like, boy, that looks a lot like blah blah blah, and you're like, oh yeah, because it's blah blah blah. They just slapped a different sticker on, So.
Sure.
That's kind of wonky, but that's going to be a fun one, folks. So we're going to go and build that out together. And I just have a couple other builds going on. I've got a call on Monday with a company that I'm really excited about, but I won't talk about it yet because I got to see how the call goes. I might be really disappointed. I don't know, but right now I'm excited. We'll see how it works out. So if that goes over well, you'll hear about it on Instagram. So definitely go and follow the channel on Instagram because I'll be posting that up pretty big time. In fact, along that line of helping out, if you have ideas for the podcast, send them. I'll have my email. It's Gene, Gene, at RGMTB.com. It's not a hard one, RGMTB.com. I'll have it all over the place. But if we use your idea for the show, I'll mail you out a whole bunch of swag. I've got all kinds of stickers and stuff, and I'll be happy to send it your way. I mean, I haven't been able to see anybody lately, so I literally have a box. What I do is when Sticker Mule has a sale, I just buy it, So like for $9, I get 50 or 150 or whatever, a whole bunch of stuff that I don't even really need, but for $9, what the hell? So It's a whole. So if we use your idea on the show, I'll give you credit for it. I'll shout you out. If you got a YouTube channel, I'll plug that too, and I'll mail you a whole bunch of stuff, which would be pretty darn cool. Yeah, and Arnold's got a retro. I can't. Was it Peugeot? Peugeot. And I've seen the bike. I just can't. Yes, yeah, there you go. That's why a lot of the companies I work with don't let me talk for them, because I can't pronounce their product. Anyway, Arnold, you'll have to do that video with me. All right, we'll go and do a ride together, and we'll play gravel bike. That'll be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So we got some good stuff coming up, folks. What I was hoping to do with today's show is, number one, I'm using a new product called Riverside FM. If you're getting into podcasts and want to do these type of things, it's a really nice product, but it's the first time I've actually used it for real, right? I mean, James and I did some testing on Monday, but this is like a legitimate test. Right. Clearly, you can see you can connect it to YouTube, so the stream is going through. But I need to find out what I get when we're done. How do I take the audio out? So this was a bit of a test. It went over well. We had a bunch of people on and chatting away, and it was kind of fun. So the goal is to do one of these every other week. I think if I do it that way, right, it'll be obtainable. I can handle one every other week. I don't want to set some goals that I can't do, and then I just look kind of silly for not doing it. I think I can do one every other week. So odds are the next one, you'll hear about it more, but we'll probably go and do the Trifox one. We'll get JF Rides on there with us. And yeah, it's going to be a really good one, folks. So again, the next one is going to be all about low-cost Chinese carbon fiber frames. All three of us got frames from Trifox. We built them up. And I'd like to hear about everyone else's experience. I'll certainly tell you about mine. We'll go through our pros and cons, and then we'll transition that conversation into in general, build versus buy in this time frame, right? Because I can tell you right now, you're not going to be getting any good deals on anything for at least another year and a half. I mean, like, the way things are going, it's going to be just as hard to get bikes. So do you do it differently? So we'll be talking about that all on the next Regular Guy Mountain Biking Bike Chat show. All right? Nice. So I will then, I think, call it a night. We had a nice time. I had some good people on the show, and this worked out well. So I want to thank you, James, for helping me get this thing started. Yep, this is cool. If you haven't already heard, or you just logged on now, or you missed, or whatever, this is James from James the Bike Guy. That's another YouTube channel on YouTube, and great guy to go. And what is 732? No, I want to get to road riding. Need a deal? Yeah. No. I'm not going. I'll go gravel. I'm not going to go full road. I'll go gravel.
Next thing you know, you're going to be wrapped up like sausage.
No, I can't do it.
Pretty quick, man.
This body was not designed for shrink wrap. I'm not gonna be doing that. Not right now, anyway. You know. So, all right, folks. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining again. Thanks, James.
Thanks for having
another
me.
One of these in 2 weeks. I'll have it on Instagram and let you know what's coming on. You know some of the topics. Again, if you have a topic, please get a hold of me. I'll send you out some stuff and a thanks. Let us know. It'll be awesome. Keep the party on the pedals, my friends, and we'll catch you in the next podcast. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Awesome. See you guys.